There are two types of men on the planet. The first believes that everyone they meet or see happens to be attracted to them. However, the flip side of the coin is a man who doesn't think anyone is attracted to him. The answer to whether she's attracted to you or not lies in this video and the 11 obvious signs a woman is attracted to you. Perhaps you've been seeing someone or you've met a coworker who's extremely interested in communicating with you, but you're a little unsure of whether she's actually attracted to you or just being friendly. Thanks to psychology and human behavior studies, we can say with decent confidence that if a woman shows these signs, she is attracted to you. What creates attraction between two people? There are hundreds or even thousands of videos on the internet that all claim they have the secret answer to what creates attraction between men and women. Looking at the red pill community, for instance, will reveal that women desire a hard and tough man who's willing to fight for what he wants. However, then you notice what many people call the Sigma male, and you have the kind of man who simply doesn't care about anything, or at least it might seem like that from the outside. However, women seem to keep on wanting him, and they flock to him like sheep. This has made it difficult to determine what creates attraction. The fact of the matter is simple, and this is that there's only one thing that creates absolute attraction, and this is what many call sexual tension. You see, sexual tension is when two people like each other so much that a sense of playful frustration has built up. The only way to break this tension is to sleep with each other. You see, whilst all the other reasons for attraction are mental and often made by choice, sexual tension is the one thing that is emotionally driven through our natural primal urges. If you've learned one thing from life, it's that it can be extremely daunting to fight primal urges, which is why women tend to cheat readily if they have a primal urge to do so. But sexual tension is not that easy to establish at the start of a relationship, and it often takes time for this to develop. What many of you are probably wondering is how to know if a woman is attracted to you before you reach this point. Well, this video is here to help, and today we explore the 11 signs a woman is definitely attracted to you. Number 1. Eye contact is at a premium. Let's start from the top. You see, the first thing that's bound to happen is that you're likely to meet the other person, and once you meet the other person, a couple things come into play. One of these is the element of eye contact. Now, we've been saying thousands of times that eye contact is something people generally avoid outside of a business or work setting, and women tend to not make eye contact with men that have no chance with them. If she's somewhat interested in you, there's a massive chance that she'll likely make more eye contact with you than usual. Yes, due to women submitting to men, she's likely to also break this eye contact quite frequently. But the fact of the matter is she will hold eye contact for much longer. This is the sign that she's attentively listening to what you're saying. What you're looking for is to see how much of her attention you manage to occupy, and this can be seen through where her eyes are when you're talking. If you notice more eye contact from a woman than you're used to, the chances that she likes you are pretty high. Number 2. Occupying space around you. Like a moth drawn to a flame, humans are naturally drawn toward the person they know and like. You might find yourself being close to your friends and trying to spend as much time with them as you can. This is because it's easier for us to be in a safe environment, rather than having to deal with the world on our own. The same goes for women. What you're bound to see is that a woman who likes you is almost always trying to be as close to you as she possibly can. In fact, she'll force herself into these environments where she can naturally focus on the space that is around you and be as close to you as she can. In many situations, women will even sit on the lap of the guy she likes, instead of having to sit further away from him if there's no seat available close to her. If she's constantly trying to occupy the space around you, it's a pretty powerful sign that she likes you, and she's actually interested in something more. Number 3. She lights up around you. Let's face it, being in a good mood all the time is not that easy, and in many cases, it can even be quite frustrating to those around you. You see, everyone's dealing with a plethora of issues in life, and this causes natural stress to often seep into these situations. However, one of the main ways to figure out if a woman likes you is to gauge her mood. If her mood is always happy and positive around you, there's a massive likelihood that she is, in fact, interested in you. What you'll notice is that she's actually trying to make sure that her mood is always positive when she's around you, and this is what you're looking for. If you can continually create positive situations and you can have her mind associate you with all this positivity, you've basically won her over, and it becomes that much easier to remain positive in these situations for her. Once she associates you with happiness and positivity, you've basically won. Number 4. Open and positive body language. Another one of the most fascinating things is how body language works. You see, when you don't truly know a person, the only thing you have to rely on is what you can discern from them with your eyes, and this happens to be body language. What you'll find when dealing with people is that body language is one of the most important elements of communication. If you just meet someone, they're bound to have closed body language, where it can seem impossible to read them. However, when someone likes you and trusts you to be around them, they're likely to display more open body language where you are concerned. This means that a woman who truly likes you will have an aura around her, where you naturally feel comfortable and might even want to continue communicating with her. Open and positive body language will manifest itself in a couple ways. This can be how her body is pointed toward you when talking or listening, or it can be that she doesn't fold her arms or legs as a way of showing that she's a little more vulnerable due to her trusting you. Open body language is one of the most important signs, especially if you're looking to establish a new relationship with this person. Number 5. She wants to touch you. Back to sexual tension here, but one of the main ways to establish sexual tension between yourself and a woman is when you can actually touch one another. You see, touching another person is a complete infiltration of their own private space, and no one likes this happening from strangers. However, the moment you establish a connection with someone where both of you like one another, touch is one of the main ways for you to escalate the relationship into something that could perhaps directly lead to sexual tension. If a woman likes you, she obviously desires what she sees, and this means that she will want to touch and have what she likes. As complicated as this sounds, it's one of the most important signs of sexual attraction that you're bound to come across. Number 6. She plays games. One of the other things that often happens when it comes to women is that they automatically want to revert to playing passive-aggressive games. You see, women are naturally designed to figure out if a man is who he says he is and try and discern if he likes her or not. Instead of directly communicating these questions, a woman is more than likely to play a few games, where she tests you to see how you're going to respond when certain things happen. One of the most prevalent games is when she ghosts you for a while, and this ghosting is so frustrating due to the fact that you don't know where it's coming from. Numerous other variations of these games can lead to her wanting to create a fight between the two of you. However, Stoicism is one of the best ways to deal with this, and the ancient Stoics have taught us that by simply ignoring these games, you win. In fact, many of these games are almost like traps, and when you make one error, she sees you in a different light. This is often when women tend to pull away, but the man doesn't understand and continues the chase. We have created numerous videos on the topic of Stoicism, and you definitely need to have a look to ensure that you understand how to deal with this. Number 7. She exhibits sensitive behavior. It's easy to think that a relationship is simply something that two people tend to do. However, there is always some kind of risk involved, and when she's truly in love with you, this risk naturally increases, which means that it can be rather daunting for her to deal with all the mixed emotions. One of the biggest twists of fate that you can easily expect is that she might exhibit some sensitive behavior. This means that she will naturally reveal some of her own weaknesses and insecurities, and from playfulness, she can take everything you say personally. For many men, this can seem like it comes from nowhere, and they immediately try to console her, revealing some of their own weaknesses and insecurities in the process. You're looking to avoid this kind of behavior. In fact, you want her emotions to run their course, as this is one of the best ways for you to see if she actually likes you. But don't be afraid of seeing some sensitive behavior from women. It's often meaningless and simply just a woman showing her own weaknesses and insecurities. Number 8. She seems nervous. Another one of the signs that's very easy to miss is when you notice she starts feeling nervous. You see, any relationship or the preluding signs that a relationship might come to fruition can be very stressful for both men and women. This is where the feeling of having butterflies in your stomach comes from. Women tend to feel and show these emotions much faster than men, and this means that they might come across as being nervous. Occasionally, men might even think that she has something to hide when, in fact, this is not the case, and she's simply just nervous about where things are heading in the relationship. A nervous woman is something you're also going to have to deal with if you plan on having a long-term relationship. The reason for this is that she might overreact to many things, and this can cause a few issues when it comes to her own emotions. Also, it's quite cute to see as well, which makes it even more of a powerful sign when you know you can make things better. Number 9. She asks you personal questions. Let's face it, life is extremely busy, and everyone is constantly busy with their own thoughts and plans of how to overcome life and what they need to do if they are to become better people. This means that no one truly cares about your own personal issues and what's going on in your life. However, women are quite interesting, and what you'll find is that once she knows she likes you, she will want to dig deeper into your personal life. This means that she's taken the time to figure out who you are, and women don't do this. With social media, she has hundreds of guys in her inbox, ready to reveal everything about themselves. However, the fact that she wants to delve deeper and try to figure out who you are can be quite complicated, and the more personal questions she asks you to answer. The idea is to figure out what kind of person you are, and this is extremely important if she's to have a future with you. In essence, you want a woman to show extreme interest in you, as this is what generally sparks the attraction for something deeper and creates a relationship. Number 10. She flirts with you. Perhaps the best sign on this list is the fact that she flirts with you. You see, one of the most important signs of attraction in the initial stages of any relationship is when she's actually flirting with you or willing to flirt with you. You see, women, once again, avoid flirting with men, especially when the flirting might seem nonsensical or if there's no future for the relationship to naturally progress. In fact, she probably has hundreds of guys who are trying to flirt with her on her phone. So she doesn't want to flirt with every second guy she meets. However, if a woman starts flirting with you, it's one of the most prominent signs of attraction, and now she's the one making this move. You should obviously respond by flirting back, which is another one of those golden ways to build sexual tension in the relationship. Number 11. She plans dates. Finally, you want to eventually reach a point where you're not the one constantly planning the dates. You see, women will naturally accept the dates you plan if they think there's a possibility for the relationship to progress. However, to truly understand if she actually likes you and is not just going along for the ride is to see if she is the one planning the dates. If she's trying to find new ways to see you or spend time with you, it's pretty obvious that there's a ton of attraction between the two of you. These will generally be when she's trying to spend time with you, or if she wants to have you alone for herself. But the reality is that her putting in the effort, when there are hundreds of guys in her inbox asking her out, is something that signals attraction. Now, many might argue that some of these signs are weak, and all the references to guys in her inbox. However, everyone needs to adapt to modern times, and unfortunately, this is how things are done nowadays.